The cities of the Philippines are amazing. Manila, for example, is the most densely populated city in the world, about 10 times more than New York. So you might be wondering how these amazing cities have been doing in this day and age. After all, the government's been making some crazy investments into these megacities. Has it been paying off? Let's first take a look at Davao City, a place in the south of the Philippines. Davao City has come a long way in the past few years. Today, it's a highly urbanized city, and it's thanks to the efforts of the Davaoeños. Thanks to them, the city has made some nice progress till 2020, where businesses were worth over $5 million, but this number went down to $4.8 million by 2021 because of COVID-19. Davao is a hotspot for trade and private investment. It's got an international airport with 9 domestic routes and 5 international routes, making it easily accessible for countries that are part of the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN growth area. Davao City is the capital of the Davao region, and it's pretty much the center of development on Mindanao Island. It's all thanks to its good government workings and international connections. It's considered one of the best places to live in the Philippines. That's partially because the city is pretty to look at. It's spread across a bunch of mountains, rolling hills and plains, all full of raw materials, making it ideal for agriculture. So much so that the city is responsible for about 80% of the country's cacao production. Not only is the land rich in natural resources, but it's also huge, making it one of the largest cities in the world. This large land mass is diverse. It's home to 11 tribes of different cultures and traditions, and has a population of 1.9 million people, making it the 3rd most populated city in the Philippines. So, how does Davao City stack up against the other cities of the Philippines? Davao City ranks number 6 on the Philippines National Government Cities and Municipalities Competitive Index for 2023. This is 2 places down from its number 4 position back in 2022. This index ranks the cities and municipalities of the Philippines with the help of the United States Agency for International Development. What's important is how the index ends up with these rankings. These annual rankings are based on the 5 pillars of development. These are economic dynamism, government efficiency, infrastructure, resiliency, and innovation. So Davao City is the 6th most competitive and highly urbanized city in the Philippines. Since 2015, it would consistently make the top 5 in this list, that is, until 2023. As for infrastructure, Davao City takes 5th place. This includes stuff like education, transport, and road networks. So it's doing pretty well in some respects, like education where it's 3rd place. But it's a measly 30th place in road networks. But that ranking may increase in the future as the city has some big infrastructure projects in the works. Most of these were mentioned in the Davao Regional Development Plan. This plan is the blueprint for how the region is going to look like by 2028. With a focus on recovering from the effects of COVID-19, the government plans on creating more jobs, boosting the economy, and reducing poverty. And you can bet that Davao City is going to reap the benefits of this plan. It even has some infrastructure projects in the works. There are a lot of these projects, but the most exciting one is probably the Davao-Samal Bridge, a $410 million project that's going to connect the island of Samal with Davao City. This bridge is expected to be completed by 2027. There's also a project that's going to completely modernize the public transport of Davao City, and that's the Davao Public Transport Modernization Project. It's going to completely revamp the bus system of the city with an alternative, eco-friendly option. When it's completed by 2025, it'll transport over 800,000 passengers daily in high-quality electric buses. This system is going to employ the latest conveniences in tech, like Wi-Fi connectivity, automatic fare collection, bus location systems, and more. It costs about $1 billion and may even be partially usable by early 2024. But Davao City isn't just going to become a concrete jungle. The government also launched a beautification program back in 2021. This program focuses on the maintenance and creation of 20 parks and playgrounds throughout the city. They acquired over 410,000 seedlings specifically for this project. Goes to show how dedicated they are to making their city pretty. Before we move on though, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Now, let's talk about the city of Manila. Manila is the third most competitive and highly urbanized city in the Philippines in 2023. But back in 2020, the city was number 1 on the list. It beat pretty much every city in the Philippines to the top. This was thanks to the leadership of Moreno, allowing Manila to rank first place in government efficiency and infrastructure. And while Manila is now second place in infrastructure, it's fallen to 6th place in government efficiency. Many people from the provinces came to live in Manila and nearby towns. These towns later became cities, making up Metro Manila. The city has an estimated population of 1.9 million and is one of the world's most crowded cities. It's super urban, with a lot of people living close together. In every square kilometer, there are 43,000 people. Compare that to the country average of just 337 people per square kilometer. All these people also mean there's a lot of action. This city is full of trade, transportation, businesses and more. But there are problems. Manila struggles with floods, noisy and dirty air, and water pollution. They don't do a good job of following the environmental rules, and it gets very hot in the city. So their infrastructure and maintenance could still use some work, but the business side is doing well. The city ranks 3rd place when it comes to the presence of business organizations. There is a nice amount of investment both from private businesses and the government here. Programs like the Manila Bay Master Plan are all about developing Manila Bay as well as the places near it. So expect Manila to get even better trade access, environmental protection, and economic growth through this. Some infrastructure projects, such as the Metro Manila Subway project, are extremely expensive. Projections put the cost at up to $6.2 billion. But this might propel Manila higher up on the list. But you might be wondering which city is at the top of this list, and that is Quezon City. Quezon City ranks first place in the 2023 most highly competitive and urbanized city rankings of the Philippines. The city would rank in the top spots for previous years too. It has a crazy high population of 3.1 million townsmen, making it the most populated city in the Philippines. The population increases by about 2% every year. So this number is expected to go up to 4 million somewhere between 2025 and 2030. But population isn't the only thing going for it. It ranks number 1 in terms of education, but it's also got a lot going for it in infrastructure. Quezon City has beaten Manila to the punch in its infrastructure ranking. It now has the top spot. It's best in class when compared to the infrastructure of other cities in the Philippines. This is thanks to the city's local development investment program, which includes a lot of projects focused on making its infrastructure better. They're prioritizing, maintaining, and fixing up their existing infrastructure, while building new stuff at the same time. So there's going to be more roads and drainage, while the old ones will be kept up to snuff. This is projected to cost about $44 million. This program has been in place since 2021, and you can bet it's the reason why Quezon has jumped to the number 1 spot. Now, all this infrastructure also means that Quezon City has become a major economic center in the Philippines. It ranks number 2 in economic dynamism, which is basically how well the economy of the city is doing. This includes stuff like the cost of doing business, employment generation, and productivity. It's been doing well because of these factors. The city has a bunch of trade zones and industrial parks. It's a hotspot for banking, shopping, travel, and more. The city has over 86,000 businesses. Back in 2019, it became the 2nd richest city in the entire country. The city has a large amount of assets. They account for about $1.7 billion. but at the same time, it has about $377 million of debt. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of these Filipino megacities. Leave a like, subscribe for more, share with your friends, and be sure to check out these videos on screen.